qué charlatán.
Mamá abuela,
Dímelo. Hace falta que mira, 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 la rumba buena te llama.
mamá abuela, mamá abuela.
Anda. Bueno, yo soy boricua, yo digo, huepa, huepa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Garcia. I'm the chair of the Hispanic Vote, and I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. As you guys can see, we're in a new location this year. This is going to be our location for this coming year and hopefully for the following years. Dania Beach bribed me, so that's why we're here. So before I start, I want to recognize our board members and members here. First, I want to start off with Liza Orazo, our vice chair. Jorge Rodriguez in the back. Lorena Mascarigo in the back. I got it right? We have our new member, Nazarena, here. Our main man in Century Village, Diego, where are you? Diego. Hello, Robin. That's okay. So, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. As you know, we have two speakers, two really good speakers. We have the mayor of Broward County, Dale Honas. Yeah. We have Josie Bacallao from Hispanic Unity. Now, Josie is not here in a capacity for Hispanic Unity. She's here for the census, just for clarification purposes, because Josie is a 501c3, and because we're not, political PAC, so I just want to make that clear. So there's no one's confused.
Your countywide school board member. I'm sorry I was walking today. You guys know that I started as a teacher. I was that teacher that took money out of my pocket to buy my students supplies. I was a special ed teacher. I was an assistant principal in Liberty City in the middle of the Scott Housing Projects, where I saw gun violence every day, and I know the dangers of generational poverty and what you have to do for students. And for the last 16 years, I've been on the school board fighting for children and teachers. Now, last week, I went to Tallahassee to lobby alongside our students. We wanted real money for our teachers, and I was proud to stand alongside my students to fight for our Promise program. We actually brought that up. We had students from Cypress Bay and across the county talk about giving students second chances and not criminalizing misdemeanor behaviors. It was amazing. And so I am ready to take all this passion and all this commitment and all this experience to Tallahassee to fight for all of you. So if you live in West Pines, Southwest Ranches, or Weston, I hope that you will vote for me, Robin Bartleman, for state representative. Thank you.
And with my skill set I am that woman for that job. Now, having said that, I'm a 30-year corporate veteran, 15-year human resource professional. I'm Six Sigma certified. That runs the gamut. Now, let me just say this. August the 18th, 1920, was the 19th Amendment was ratified. August the 18th, 2020, is 100 years of women's right to vote. I just want to tell you this. I can run that office. We need to fix it. The first thing I will do is a forensic analysis of that office from top to bottom, so we can plot out a process workflow to make sure that we know what we're doing. I will make sure that we will not have the issues we've had in the past. Again, my name is Ruth Carter Lynch. And by the way, I understand the right to vote at a deeper level because I marched with Dr. King during the Civil Rights Movement in Greenwood, Mississippi. And Greenwood, Mississippi was the last state to ratify women's right to vote in 1984. Now that is something that I understand at a very deep level. Like I said, if you want the truth, you vote for Ruth. Thank you.
My name is Linda Thompson Gonzalez. I'm running for Florida Steakhouse, District 93. I just retired from the Foreign Service. I was serving all of you overseas for 14 years in Latin America, Bogota, Uruguay, Argentina, Peru, and then back in Bogota. Before that, I was Assistant Inspector General and Legal Counsel to the Inspector General at the United States Department of State. In all of that experience, overseas in the most difficult circumstances, I was a Foreign Service officer who took care of her team. I was a team leader. I was a leader of groups going out into the very remote areas of Bogota to present our work of what the American people hope to do with Colombians and to build our partnerships. I was a team leader. I was a leader of our groups who always took care of our people. Because growing up in a small town in Michigan, I know how important it is to take care of our people, to give people our health care that we need, our schooling, our education that we need, our gun safety laws that we need. Part of the reason I'm also running is because as a former Inspector General, I know what it is to fight special interests, to oversee your tax dollars to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. And I also know what it is to stand up to ambassadors and other folks who want to abuse their public position for private gain. We need those skills in Tallahassee now more than ever. I got 6 grandkids. I'm not building my resume. I don't need a job. I want us to start doing what is right for all of us in this room, for our children, for us, for our future. Because if we don't start making the right decisions now, our future is going to be even more difficult than it is right now. So I hope that you will reach out to people that you know in my district, 93, that you will support me. You will say, you know Linda Thompson Gonzalez, and she's going to help try to make things better in Tallahassee. Thank you.
Helping her. She's homeless. That's an issue that we should not be faced with. She works a job making $11 an hour. That's not enough for her to take care of herself and her children. So we really have to work together on these issues. Criminal justice reform is important. We lock up too much of our people. And we have more people in prison than any other industrialized country. That doesn't make any sense. It's actually robbing us of our most important resource, our people. When you lock someone up, they can't be productive, which means you and I have to find the tax dollars. It's coming out of our pockets to pay for them. $275 million this year goes towards the jails in Broward now. That's money that we could probably use in a more positive, productive way. So for you that are here as elected officials, the civil citation program is a much better way to deal with many of these issues. Juvenile civil citation, the numbers are there. It's right in front of you if you take a look. 90+% success rate. These juveniles that we encounter, and we put them in a program when they do misdemeanor. Crazy little pranks sometimes that they do, that we lock them up for. That sometimes if we had gotten caught, we would be in. But we had a little better system there where you'd not necessarily be put in jail. That program has saved us over $14 million in taxpayers' dollars since we put that in place.
How much money we get from the feds that make up Florida's revenue? A third. That's why the census is important. Who should the census count? Everyone. Do they have to be documented? No. I love one of the quotes from one of the census leaders, which is, if you're breathing on April 1st, you must be counted. That's the only criterion. In the last 10 years, we missed 7.5% of the population in Florida. It was not counted. How many dollars do you think we did not bring into Florida as a result of that?
500 trillion? How many?
7.5% was not counted. We lost $20 billion for Florida. 300 programs are funded $1.5 trillion on an annual basis, are distributed based on state counts, city counts, town counts. And you already know, now this is a test, this is a post-test. How much does each person generate in census dollars? One individual, 1,500, 15,000 over 10 years. So a family of 4, by spending 10 minutes and completing the census, can generate $60,000 for our community.